Hello, hello. Welcome back to Pilates. So today we are going to be doing some nice lying down stuff on the front, and we're going to do lots of nice work through the spine, not working with weights, but still do some upper body work. So we're going to start in our lovely child's pose position today. Bring yourself down to your mats. I want you to take a nice wide knee stance, feet together, slide your bottoms back into your heels. This is a nice point to start. Bring your fingertips in front of you, just lift and lengthen up through your spine, and then allow yourself to drop down and sink your body to the floor. Lift your elbows up, fingertips reaching forward, lengthening out through the arms down the sides of the body, but pushing back into your heels at the same time. Find your breath. And then rest your elbows down to the floor. So if you're not in that position, you just come to here and you do exactly the same thing. You just roll up through that spine, open out through your shoulder blades, and just release comfortably. And you can lift up onto your fingertips. So bring those elbows off the floor again, even your child's pose or here. Look up, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, melt down. So reaching the fingers forward, head and chest drops towards the floor. So if you're here, that's fine. If you're back here, that's also fine. Good. And from there, just bring yourself all the way forward, down onto the ground, taking your feet to the corners of your mat, resting your forehead down onto your hands, finding your breath. So we're just going to wake up the lower body. So keep your upper body rested, your abs squeezed in, and then bring your legs now closer together, pointing the toes away. We're going to inhale, hip bones down, exhale, lift up through one leg, swing out to the corner of the room, back into the center, and release. Opposite side, inhale up, exhale out, inhale center, and exhale down. So we're just working one side at a time. And we're just working through the buttocks, squeezing out, working, resting your upper body, but activating your lower tummy muscles. Just imagine you're sucking the belly away from the floor. We're going to go 2 more each side, so not too many. Just waking up the body, lengthening out through the legs, last one each side, squeezing that butt, abducting the hip, and then last time to the left, and drop down. Take your feet wide again. Pin the feet into the ground. Keep the legs active as if you're putting your kneecaps off the floor, but squeeze the butt. Sliding your fingertips to the side of the head. We inhale, lifting up, exhale, squeeze to one side, lifting my shoulder blade. Lift my elbow to squeeze my shoulder blades. Inhale, center, and down. Inhale up, exhale, twist, squeeze that shoulder blade, back to center, and release. So lifting, turning, center, and down. Lifting, turning, center, and down. So my legs are active, but they're staying pressed down to the floor. Make sure you're really finding that rotation. Imagine you're just twisting from your waist, opening out through the rib cage. Lifting, one more each side. Last time, center, and release. Hands back underneath that forehead. Take a breath. Bring the legs back in. Okay, so we're going to incorporate the upper and the lower body. So take the arms forward. I've just slide myself back a little bit. Arms forward. Might be a little bit restricted with room here. So we lift left arm, right leg off the floor, head and chest drifts. We squeeze out to the side, back into the center, and lower it back down. We lift the opposite side, hip bones stay down, open out. Inhale, center, and exhale, release. So repeat. And down. And down. And release. Go for 4 more. And up, reach. Because I'm lengthening out a little bit more each time, I'm now hitting the wall behind me because I've extended further away. Last time. And release it down. Bring your hands back under, turn your head to one direction, let a little bit of mobility work run through your lower back and into the hips, so just let it all loosen up. Take myself forward again. Ooh. And we're taking those legs out wide, pinning to the ground. So more upper body work. We inhale, lift up. We exhale, extend our arms forward, circling all the way around, and then reaching up. We then open the arms back around, so we lower down very slightly, and then bend the arms and lower back down. So I probably shouldn't have shuffled myself forward. So we lift up the upper body, take the arms forward, circle all the way around, palms facing, we squeeze and lift. We then return the palms facing forward, reaching all the way around and bringing the hands back to rest. Inhale up, exhale, open out, and then exhale, reach. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, then I'm releasing very slightly in the chest as I circle my arms all the way back around and then drop down here. 2 more. Reach. Last one. Circle, 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 squeeze. And open up, open up, open up, and release. Turn your head the other way. Let the body loose again. And then bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. From there, I want you to lift up onto your knees. So we're coming to a half plank. Let me just get my jumper off. So on the knees, half plank position. So you want to be just stabilizing yourself here. I'm tucking my toes under. And when you're ready, lift up into a full plank. Now we're going to do some little knee taps here. So we're going to tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend. Now, if you can see, my hips aren't moving up and down at all. They're just stabilized the whole time. Options to drop to your knees, and you can work extending and bending each side. Just try and get rid of my baggy top because I feel like it's stopping you from seeing what my hips are doing. So drop, lift, or just work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever you are. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, look forward, spine straight, 4, 3, 2, last 1, and drop those knees back. Walk it in, pause here, and take a cat stretch on the elbows. And then bring yourself back down into position. Now we're going to do some moving planks. I'm going to take my feet off for this, my socks off, because I need to do lots of movement through the feet. Now you need to concentrate on your positioning here. So we're going to be moving from front plank to side plank to front plank to side plank. So we're going to start getting our heart rates up a little bit. We're going to do this by bringing our forearms side by side, and that gives you the freedom to turn. So I'm going to just demonstrate one to you, and then you can join in. So my feet are wide. I'm going to lift my knees up into a plank. I'm going to turn onto the sides of my feet, edges of my feet. Then the rest of my body will twist, and I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blade by pulling my elbow back. So my arm stays at 90 degrees. I then turn back to center, twisting my feet back into the middle. And then I'm turning my feet to the other side, freeing my side to open out, and squeezing the shoulder blade this side. Then I return, I rotate on my toes into center. Turning back, so join me now. Turn, strong positioning, hips up, open out, follow that fist. Inhale through to center, forearms side by side, pause in the middle. Then turn those feet, the body will follow, lift those hips and follow that hand. And then twist it back and pause in the center. So we're not rushing this. Turn back. So if it's too much, drop to your knees, turn that foot out and just rotate on that foot and squeeze back here, yeah? And then when you rotate back into the middle, drop to half plank, then turn the toes out on this side and just find that as your main kind of grounding. So that's just your slightly easier adapted version to the center. Keep going wherever you are, turning, hips up, squeeze up through this waistline. Pause, back to the center, to the other side, lift up through the underneath that waistline, squeeze the shoulder blade. We're gonna go one more each side. So nice strong breath, exhale, turn towards the camera, squeeze that shoulder blade, hips up high. Inhale through to center. Exhale, rotate and lift and squeeze. Inhale back to center, forearms side by side and hold. Hold, hold, hold. Forearms stay where they are. Lengthen out through those knees unless your knees are on the floor. Squeeze the belly, squeeze the butt. Now lengthen your spine, look forward, push the floor away. 10, 9, 8. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees. Walk your arms in and slide into a relaxed child's pose. Head drops to the floor, or if you're here, drop your head into your hands and just arch that spine. And then bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. Square off position. We're going to do a combination exercise. That means we're going to do 1 to 2 or 3 exercises in one, or 4 or 5. We're going to do 3 exercises in one. So the hands are underneath our shoulders. The first exercise I'm going to show you very slowly. We're going to inhale forward, slide the elbows in towards the waistline, and then power up, tricep dip. Now you don't have to go as deep as I showed you. You might just want to do a scoop forward, a little micro bend in the elbows and push yourself back up. I don't want you to end up getting down but not coming back up and then you're losing your core positioning. So it's the kind of weaker muscle of our upper bodies. So listen to your body. You might just want to go to there and then push back up to there. Yeah, I'd rather you got it right than try to go too far and get it wrong. Otherwise, you float forward, chest drops, bottoms flying up in the air, and you power up. Then you reach, right arm, left leg behind. You squeeze out to the sides, to 4 corners of the room, back into center, and then we curl it under, bringing the elbow to knee, dropping down. Tricep dip. Push it up. Opposite arm to leg, lengthens out. We squeeze out to the corners of the room, back into the middle, curling up and under. Drop down. Then, before we repeat that whole thing again, lift your knees off the floor. Extend out, extend in, pull in. Then opposite side, out, in, and in. Drop down. Tricep dip. Push up. Front arm, back leg. Extends. Come out. Come in. Curl it under. And release. Tricep dip. Push up. Lengthen out. Squeeze out to the corners of the room. Back to center. And curl it under. And drop it down. Tuck the toes, hover the knees. Step out, in, opposite side, out, in, in. Drop the knees. Tricep dip forward. This time, give me 2. Extend that front arm and back leg, reach. Squeeze out and in, repeat. Out and in. Curl it through. Lengthen it out. Curl it through. Drop to the floor. Tricep dip down, pushing up. Down for 2. And back up. Reach opposite arm to leg. Squeezing out and in. And again, out and in. Curl it through. Lengthen away. Curl it through. Drop it down. Tuck your toes. Hover the knees. Extend one leg out. Other leg out. Front leg in. Back leg in. Then back leg out. Front leg out. And in. And we've got to repeat that again. You ready? Out. Out. In. In. Out. Out. In. And drop. One more time, doing those 2 repetitions. We tricep dip down and up and down and up. Reach out. Squeezing out to the corners, back to center, square those hips off. Exhale out, inhale middle. We curl under, scoot the belly in, and we lengthen forward and back. We scoop under, and return, neutral spine. Tricep dip down. And again. Lengthen arm to leg. Out to the corners of the room. Center, keep your eye gaze down. Abduct the shoulder and the hip and back. Curve that spine, squeeze the belly under. And lengthen away. Curve under, squeeze. And drop the hand and the knee. Tuck those toes. Your shoulders should be starting to feel this. Lift into a hover. Let's go. Out. Out. In. In. Opposite side. Out. Out. In. In. And again. Out. Out. In. And in. Out. Hips stay low. And in. And release. Come into little ball, bring your hands down by your feet, let your head drop, curl yourself. Obviously, if you're not in this child's pose, see if you can just take your head to the floor here. Interlace your fingers, stretch your arms away from your heels. Release those shoulders, give them a little wriggle. And slowly release the hands. Down by your side. Good, bring your hands forward, roll yourself up, and then bring your feet around in front of you. So we're going to work on rotation, starting from seated position. If you don't want to do rotations, I'll give you an alternative, but that's usually, if you're pregnant, that's the best thing, just to avoid anything too rotated, especially from your second trimester onwards. So lift your spine up tall. I'm just going to move my screen very slightly. That's it. So lift your spine up tall. Just enjoy that lengthening. Bring your hands on top of your shoulders and lift your elbows. We then curl the spine back. So if you know you will need a little bit of lower back support, grab something to cushion yourself behind you now. Don't go too far. I've gone halfway and my legs are going to stay where they are, toes pointed towards the floor, ideally on the ground. Mine just don't do that. We're going to lift the front leg to tabletop, and I'm going to take my back elbow and twist to there and drop down. Lift, twist and drop. So if you don't want to do the twists, just stay here and do your leg lifts. You can have more of a challenge with taking your arms up. Okay, otherwise, lift. And if you want to drop back a little bit, lift up, drop back, lift up, and so on. 8. Don't let those legs float down. 7. Let the foot lift up in line with your knee as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, and 1. Release the arms forward, sink back a little bit more. 10 pulses there. 9, squeeze the thighs together. 7, shoulders relaxed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it forward, sliding the hands down the shins and lifting yourself tall again. And then bring yourself slowly down to the floor. So I'm just going to bring my bottom a little bit forward and then roll down to the ground. So get yourself positioned correctly. Bring your feet together, your thighs squeeze in, your arms relax down by your side, or take your arms wide. We're going to lift up into a bridge as we breathe out. Squeeze the thighs together. We're going to inhale, back knee lifts up. It extends up to the sky. And I want you to give me 10 presses using this front leg to lift those hips up high. 8, 7, not fast. 6, 5, 4. If it's too much, drop your foot at any time. Just keep doing your bridge with 2 legs. 2 and 1. Bend the knee. Slide the sole of the foot on top of that knee. So it's like I'm trying to catch the top of my thigh with my foot. Knee is pointing up towards the sky. And we go back to 10. Now we've got a little bit of added weight. 9, squeeze the buttock. 8, don't do it, it doesn't suit you. You might just want to have the toe lightly on the ground and you're still putting the pressure into this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift the knee off. Exhale, extend the leg to the sky and roll out of your bridge. This leg stays where it is. Find your breath. Slide your right hand to the side of the head. We're going to lift up and twist that leg. We're going to drop the head as the leg comes down. Okay, nice and easy, yeah? You want to make it harder? Lift your opposite leg to a hover without moving it, which is difficult to do. It's difficult to coordinate. And 5, keep it going. And 4. And 3. And 2. Give me one more. And 1. Good. Bend the knees. Drop the feet to the ground. Hands down by your side. Lift your legs up to tabletop. So we're going to push our legs away and lift them up to the sky and bend them back. So we push our legs away, lift them up and bend them back. So nice and easy, not as in an easy exercise, but easy to get. The coordination is quite easy. You're like scooping down, lengthening out. If it feels too much, reduce your range, make it a little bit higher so you're up here. Or if you really want to, you could just do one leg at a time. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Scoop it under. Bend the knees. Keep those legs squeezed together. Relax through your spine. Take a breath in. My arms are going wide again. And you're going to roll up and lift those hips up into a bridge. Feet together, thighs together, squeeze. We inhale, lift this front leg. Exhale, extend it to the sky. And we press up through that back leg. 10 times, not too fast. 8. Remember the rules. If it's too much, you can just get a lighter load on that right leg. So it's just kind of brushing the floor. So my left buttock is still working. Last 4, 3, be strong. 2, And 1. Bend that knee, foot on top of that leg, so my knee bone is pointing, my knee cap is pointing towards the sky. We carry on. 10, 9, 8, 7. Remember, if it's not for you, come here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on, squeeze it up. And 1. Inhale, lift that leg up, extend it to the sky, and roll it out. Stay here, back hand, left hand to the side of the head. We exhale, curl up. Inhale, lengthen, head down. Exhale, lift. So again, if you want to, you can hover that back foot off the floor, just a little hover, and then you're going to feel your abs kicking in a lot more. 5, so you've got 5 more to do of these. Keep it going. 3, keep that leg as straight as possible. 2, 1 more. And 1, bend the knees, drop the feet, drop your arms. Arms down by your side, rest the shoulders. So we're going to do our scoops, but we're going to reverse them. So we are going to start at tabletop, extend the legs up, get them down, quarter or halfway, scooping the feet in, returning to tabletop. Lengthen to the sky first of all, drop the legs as low as you want to go, and then I'm just skimming the floor with my toes. So just find what works with your coordination. If you don't want to go as low, then straighten your legs and just bring them to there and back in. Extend and there and back in. Up on that, try and swoop the legs down. Skimming your toes on the floor. 5 more. Very wary of that back. Really engage those abs. Don't use those arms. Don't push them into the ground. 3, 2, 1 more. And 1. Good. Drop your feet down to the floor. Take them a little bit wider. Take a little release through the legs, through the lower back, through the abs. And then just bring your legs in wide. Squeeze your thighs down towards your shoulders as you push your bottom down to the floor. So you're getting a bit of a hip flexor stretch, but with a wide leg, which gets into your sacrum. Nice position just to stretch for a few seconds. And then either roll yourself up or extend your legs and roll yourself back up to seated. Lift and lengthen up through your spine at the top. And we're going to go back to those rotations. So bend your legs. So we're going to make them a little bit harder if you wish. So that means straight legs if you want to make it a little bit harder. So bring your elbows on top of your shoulders. Lift your elbows, roll back quarter or halfway. And this time we lift the leg up. We turn and lower down on the inhale. Exhale. Keep these legs straight. And if you don't want to do straight legs, go back to tabletop. And if you don't want to rotate at all, you might just want to challenge yourself, just doing one leg lift there, and then the other leg lift. Just literally stabilizing through the torso. 8 more, guys, let's go. 7, 6. Oh, this is getting my hip flexors. 5. I need another stretch. 4. Let's stretch our hip flexors today, I think. 3. Come on. 2. 1 more. And 1. Stay here. Arms forward and pulse. Scoop that belly in. Feel your six-pack working. 7, 6, don't go faster than me, 5, lift those arms a little bit more, 3, 2, last 1, lift all the way up, open out, lean into your hands and lift your chest out of your shoulders. Come and sit up tall, extend your arms up above your head, look up, reach as far up as you can come and come forward into a hamstring stretch. Grab the feet or the ankles or the calves. Always pull yourself out of your spine, shoulders pull back to get that length, and then melt down into those legs. Tight again this week. I don't like to stretch out that much. Take one more breath here, and then just slide yourself up. Flip around onto your hands and knees. So we're going to come back into our planks rotation, side, middle, side, but I want you to challenge it on your hands this time, and you might find it easier, you might find it harder. So if it really doesn't work for your wrists or your shoulders, and drop down to your elbows again, but it's a nice challenge. I feel you've got more freedom to move on your hands. So let's just work it and see how we get on. So when you're ready, set yourself up on a plank. Feet have to be quite wide here. Nice strong positioning. Use your camera to look at your plank position. Exactly the same. This time you rotate the feet. This is now my base, is full arm, and we open out, the arm extended to the sky this time. Look up and squeeze. Then inhale through to center, pause in the middle. Turn and lift and open that chest. Be strong through that arm. Lift the waistline. Inhale through to center, pause. I pivot, I open, and then I pick up this waistline and I lift my arm up and open that chest. And then swing back to center and pause. So if you want to do this on your knees, see if you can stay on your hands, pause here, and then you turn that leg out, and then that leg still stays slightly in front to open. So like you're doing on your elbows. And then as you turn, you just close that leg with the knees back together again and pause in a half plank. Then turn that, rotate on that leg, twist and open there. Yeah, so the new version is a lot easier. You might want to try both positions. It's your choice. And open. Now we're going to do 2 more each side after this one. So come back into center and let's turn. Onto my left arm, I open my right, I look up, squeeze, lift the hips. Inhale, center, pause as you exhale. Inhale, turn, exhale, lift and reach, squeezing my waistline underneath. Then inhale, return, pivot on my toes, exhale, plank. One more time to this side. Left arm's taking support, right arm reaches up, squeeze up, 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 up. Inhale, hand back, I pivot on my toes, center. Last time, turn, reach and lift, squeeze. And then inhale, back to center, exhale, plank. Pause, pause. Nice and strong. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Settle it down, sit back, resting your elbows to the floor and come into child's pose or here into cat stretch. And then roll yourself up, come up onto your knees, bring your knees a bit closer together, take a big step forward with your right leg. We're going to get into these hip flexors, sink down into the hip. So this leg is extended all the way behind, my knees above my ankle, my hands come down inside that foot. If you can get to your elbows, get down to your elbows. I'm too tight for that. Take the foot for a little walk, turn the toes out, slightly rotate if you can, open this knee as wide as possible, and then sink down into that stretch, make it strong. Again, you might want to just move through it. Make sure the knee's not going over the ankle. And also make sure the knee is not pointing inwards. You want to get it out as far as possible. Take a couple more breaths here. And then just move that foot back into the center, taking this hand around. Fingertips come back. We push back, hamstring stretch. First of all, we do a few breaths with the toes pointed forwards, and then we'll do a few breaths with our toes pointing up to the sky. So you just soften the knee, roll onto the back of the heel, ease it forward. My mat is too grippy, I can't slide on it. So now I'm dorsiflecting and I'm just dropping deeper down towards that thigh. And try to pull this hip back a little bit more so you're not rotated. And just allow that give. And then just come out of it slowly. Tuck your toes under the back, lift up and turn onto the width of your mat. So now you've got my bottom in your face, lovely. I'm just gonna rotate your way. You stay where you are. Feet parallel, come up onto your fingertips, lift and look up, extend your spine. Exhale, sink down. So you get your legs as wide as you possibly can, aiming to get your elbows to the floor, lift your hips, weight into the toes, allow your weight to fall into the outer edges of your feet. Feel the stretch very subtly down the side of the leg. It can be quite nasty if you're quite tight in that area. Try and push the legs into extension. Don't push your weight into your heels. If you're on your hands, just soften through the elbows and soften through the shoulders and let yourself melt down. Take a couple more breaths here. And then inhale, lift up onto your fingers and continue to walk all the way around to the other side. So I'm going to walk this side because I flipped around. And then we'll do the other leg. So slide that leg away, sink down into the hip, take the foot for a little walk, turn the toes out, and then allow your hips to softly drop down. So you'll be facing the other way to me. So I've rotated onto that foot, opening that knee, and then I'm allowing that more give into my hips. I'm just going to do a little sway side to side to ease into it. If you're on your elbows, amazing. Take another deep breath there. And then slowly come back up onto your hands. Walk the foot back into the center, bring the hand around the outside. Come back onto your fingertips and then push your hips back to extend that leg. Toes pointing down towards the floor. And then allow that give just to drop down. One more breath with the toe pointed. Then dorsiflex the foot, slide onto the back of the heels. Push that leg a little bit further forward. Extend it a little bit more if you can. And then breathe in, pull the hip back a little bit, and exhale, roll down. Right down the back of that leg, yikes. Take one more breath. And then just bring yourself forward. Tuck your toes under the back, lift the knee, and then pivot back around so you're back to that wide leg stretch. So you'll be the other way around to me. Come onto your fingertips, lift up, and let's come down one more time. Drop down to your elbows if you can. Weight into those toes, lengthen out through the legs, and just melt the head and chest down as far as it will go. It doesn't matter how far you go. If you're on your fingertips, just make sure you're keeping your upper shoulders relaxed. There's no tension. You just want to feel it all stretching out to the back. So if you can, interlace your fingers behind the base of your spine. If it's too much, bring your feet in a little bit to allow a little bit more give. And then take those arms up and over and stretch open those shoulders. And then carefully release the hands at the base of the spine. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Look up. Walk your feet in. until they come to about just a bit wide of the shoulders. And then bring your hands on your hips and see if you can extend your spine forward. So like you're in a tabletop position, pull your shoulders back. And then use your core, bring yourself up. If that doesn't work for you, just roll up softly through the spine. Just going to turn my screen up. So standing with your legs slightly apart, take your arm up and come over into a side bend. If you wish, grab hold of that wrist, pull your shoulders in front, make sure your hips don't twist, and just lengthen out through that side. And then inhale, swap over to the other side, reach up and side bend over to the left, reaching the arm. Again, make sure you haven't twisted through your hips or your shoulders. Let's get that wonderful stretch down the rib cage, down into that side of the lower back, and then inhale back to center. Release the arms, take a shoulder roll a couple of times. Bring your feet underneath your hips, stand tall. Open your arms as you inhale and exhale. Bring your hands together slowly in front of your chest. Give yourselves a bow. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today. I think I was a bit nicer to you today. Sometimes it's nicer to have the nicer sessions. Enjoy your week. Bye for now.